Yeah, so another day, another infringement. So I recently just shared an article about the First Circuit Court's decision to rule that the 72-hour waiting period to purchase a gun in Maine is likely constitutional. Let's talk about it. So for those that didn't read the article, I'm going to breeze right through this and give my opinion. It states a federal appeals court ruled Friday that Maine's 72-hour waiting period on gun purchases is likely constitutional, handing gun control advocates a significant victory in a high-profile Second Amendment case. The 72-hour law was originally passed about a few years ago in 2023 after the Lewiston mass shooting that left 18 people dead, and then a judge has stepped in and blocked it, and now here we are again, where a 3-judge panel on the First Circuit Court of Appeals in Boston disagreed. The law briefly delays acquisitions of firearms from commercial dealers, reads the ruling, but it does not prevent a law-abiding and responsible citizen from obtaining and then keeping or bearing a firearm after fulfilling the waiting period requirement. In our view, this likely renders the law a burden on, but not an infringement of the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. So essentially, they are agreeing that the 72-hour waiting period is a burden for law-abiding gun owners in the state of Maine, but they don't give a fuck. They're going to make people go through it anyways because they don't believe that it is an infringement on the Second Amendment. But it absolutely is. Because here's the thing. It starts with 3 days. They say, hey, we're going to make you wait 72 hours before you can get a gun. Then that might stretch to a week. Then that might stretch to a month. Then it could be a situation where they might want to make you wait an entire year just to exercise your rights. Now, typically when they introduce these waiting periods, their argument is so that if someone wishes to commit a crime with a gun or they wish to take their own life, this essentially gives them a cool down period before they can get their hands on that gun so they can think through before they actually commit what they're going to commit. But here's how that's flawed. Now, let's take a woman for an example. Let's say she has a husband and he threatens her life. That woman goes to the gun store to purchase a firearm, but then she cannot purchase that gun for self-defense because she now has to go through a 72-hour waiting period before she can get her hands on that gun. Let's say during that 72-hour waiting period, she gets killed. That's blood on the state's hands. That's blood on the government's hands for allowing this to happen to the people. So the one thing I think most of us can agree on is that the federal government cannot be trusted. The reason the Second Amendment exists is because the government cannot be trusted. There should never be a waiting period for people to exercise a constitutional right. Just imagine having to go through a waiting period before you could speak. Sounds pretty ridiculous, right?